DAZN.
DAZN is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year.
This fight has lived up to expectations.
Good. Finds the cut. He's walking it, he's looking, he's begging, and it worked.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
How do you like it? How do you like it?
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Are you not entertained?
I'm not supposed to be cheering, but this is X Series. I can do whatever I want.
It all comes down to tonight.
Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Looking to the end zone for the win! Oh my gosh, one of the great games you'll ever see.
It's their time. A night to remember.
DAZN is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year. And you can relive history by watching the biggest fights at any time. Just head to DAZN.com and go to previous events to catch up on all the action from the biggest nights in boxing.
There is in trouble. The big fella. Garcia is having the fight of his life on the biggest stage possible.
Is the power and the speed still there? Can he be the wrecking ball that he was once in his career?
Every fight has consequence. There is so much on the line.
It's the greatest fight card, I would say, in the history of the sport.
There's been a lot said about me meeting with Eddie Hearn for the first time.
Two top promoters in the UK have never even met.
This has been a coming together. This has been a light bulb moment.
10 boxers from the top 15. That's extraordinary.
It's the craziest card ever. It's not supposed to be this good. It was time for everybody to get together.
When you didn't think it could get any better, it gets better.
December 23rd changes the landscape and the course of heavyweight history. I know how to fight, and I'll fight to win.
That is unstoppable. Aitana Bonmatí, the world's best player.
That's a superb goal. Messi on the turn. Oh! She's amazing.
What a finish.
Live on DAZN August 24th. Floyd Money Mayweather versus John Gotti III. The best ever in a bad-blooded rematch.
This is more than personal.
A 15-0 perfect record and still performing at the highest level, but with the legacy of his name. John Gotti III is looking to write boxing history. The first fight ended in chaos. Now they must collide once more. Mayweather versus Gotti III, August 24th. Live on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Looks like they mean business here.
Cristiano Ronaldo does find the back of the net.
Karim Benzema.
Glorious, glorious football. It's Mitrovic, it's in.
The team news now. We start with the player availability report presented by Cedars-Sinai. Obviously,
is rooting for out. Hopefully that's back soon. Without Endo kind of managing the second half of the season, giving Matthias a rest coming into the second half of the season, blah, blah, blah.
Let's talk about who will be on the field tonight here inside of BMO Stadium, and we got to start at the top here.
Opening up the flanks for outside backs, Andrea Sanchez and Destiny Duran to attack into, isolating Diana Martin.
Montse Weiss, that central midfielder, she's a veteran. We'll see what type of tempo she can set for Juárez here tonight. The table is set. Boom. It's perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
International friendly between NWSL's Angel City FC and from League. Bring you inside of BMO Stadium. The fans all smiles for this one. Second ever international friendly here for Angel City FC, while for FC Juárez, it is actually their first ever international friendly. We'll give you some more numbers as the fans settle in their seats here for this one. Teams getting ready to head out onto the field of play, and you know what that means. We are just moments away from kicking off the match, which gives us just enough time to bring you upstairs into our broadcast position alongside former U.S. international goalkeeper Saskia Weber. My name is Mark Rogandino. Again, glad to have you on as we write another chapter between Mexico and the U.S. in the soccer book. You know, you look at this, you say the term international friendly. I think it's going to be anything but friendly tonight. We know that Becky Tweed has some objectives she wants to accomplish tonight.
And the biggest objective is to keep the momentum they had going from the Summer Cup. Get players more time, work on that depth, and get players like Kristen Press played in and game ready.
You know this team, Angel City, is feeling really good after those 3 wins, and of course the loss to Gotham in the semifinals. In case you don't know about these two teams, we catch you up to speed. 3rd season in NWSL, as you see the captain, Sarah Gordon, there for Angel City FC. Becky Tweed in her first full season as the head coach. But the record at the bottom, just 4 wins so far in their matches played in NWSL regular season play. Plenty of time to try and improve on that. Quickly for FC Juárez, a team that started slow when they joined Liga MX, but they've gained speed lately the last couple years.
And Coach Oscar Fernandez has changed their style. They play more of a possession style now, and they'll be playing in a 4-3-3 tonight.
Let's get you the national anthems. Here's Natalie Gonzalez Dubois.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so grandly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streamed. And the rocket's red glare, love was bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fantastic job there by Natalie Gonzalez-Dubois with the two national anthems as we work our way in a couple of moments toward the first half kickoff of this international friendly between FC Juárez, the visiting side from Mexico, and the hosts, Angel City FC. Time to get to the team news, and we start with the availability report presented by Cedars-Sinai. We haven't seen June Endo all year, but hopefully going to have Merritt Mathias and Atlee Riley back in the fold for the stretch run of the season.
And this is all about managing minutes again and loads, giving them another game's break to get them ready for the second half of the season.
Well, that's who you will not see tonight here inside of BMO Stadium, but how about who you will see? Let's start at the very top. I think she's been the MVP in 2024. I'm talking about Claire Emsley.
Claire Emsley has been lights out this season. Not just her goals, but opening up space, getting inverted underneath. Look for Angel City to isolate her, get her set up 1v1 to go to goal, and of course, score, which is what she's been doing.
She also added a goal against Bay FC in the Summer Cup. How about the rest of the 11 under Becky Tweed? It's the starting 11 presented by DoorDash.
And we've got two changes from last game versus Gotham. Rocky Rodriguez and Lily Nabet are in at the double six, holding midfield for Hammond and Doherty Howler. Watch for Kennedy Fuller to make off-ball runs, pulling Juárez double pivot out of position, allowing Angel City to bypass lines through the midfield, finding Alyssa Thompson, Messiah Bright, and Claire Emsley up top.
Something tells me, Saskia Weber, that maybe Alyssa Thompson kind of finds that goal-scoring mojo here tonight, and then it carries over for the final 10 games of the NWSL regular season. We turn over to visiting club, and we focus in on the number 11. She plays in the number 9 position up top. That's Diana Martin from University of Central Florida.
Yes, University of Central Florida, and one of my teammates coached her, 99er Tiffany Roberts. Diana Martin's incredibly dynamic. When she gets faced up 1v1 with the ball at her feet, she can take on any defender in any league.
And of course, as you often see in the case of an international friendly, both teams intermingling and joining together. It's about building that relationship. We saw it in the Summer Cup over the last month with the NWSL teams and the visiting Liga MX Femenil teams, and we see it again here tonight. How about the 11 for FC Juárez? What are we looking for tonight?
And FC Juárez is playing in a 4-3-3. Look for wingers Alondra Blanco, Norma Palafox to play more inverted, opening up the flanks for outside backs Andrea Sanchez and Destiny Doran to attack into, allowing Martin to get isolated at that target 9.
Desiree Monsivais, the number 28, the central midfielder. They're probably the most experienced player in the 11, the 36-year-old.
Known as the Architect.
The Architect. We'll see if she can pull the strings in the central midfield tonight. It's her first season actually playing for FC Juárez after spending the last year and a half with another famous Liga MX Femenil club, Pumas. There is Kristen Press, one of the big headlines over the course of the last month, right, Saskia? The fact that I think it's 781 days she finally came back into the fold, scored in the penalty kick shootout against San Diego Wave. Could she be a super sub down the stretch the rest of the year is a big question.
And I think that's the plan for Becky Tweed and Angel City. Manage her minutes, get her game fit. There's a big difference between training fitness and game fitness. Manage her minutes, get her game fit and ready to go. You are going to need her down the stretch.
We will see her tonight. And we will keep an eye on how many minutes, in fact, she will play. Waiting for the whistle to get things officially underway from Alyssa Nichols, our referee overseeing the match tonight. It was back in March of 2023 that Club America was here. Tonight it's FC Juárez and Angel City FC underway from a gorgeous night in downtown LA here on DAZN. Happy to have all of you along and joining us, Saskia Weber, Mark Rogandino, and the rest of our crew. In the Sol Rosa kits, it's Angel City attacking. Kennedy Fuller over the shoulder. Bright first time, and it's into the back of the net! 21 seconds in, and Messiah Bright hits for her first ever goal in an Angel City kit. It's game on, Saskia.
Game on, and what a team goal by Angel City.
Wow, a dream start for the club.
It is a dream start, and you're going to watch Kennedy Fuller kind of get that ball, not be able to wrap her left foot around it, so she turns, flicks it up in the air to Bright, who has the wherewithal. Watch here, Emsley serves the ball, and it just gets not cleared well, but Kennedy Fuller doesn't get a good touch Messiah Brights puts the laces right through that and roofs Juárez's keeper. What a start for Angel City.
Well, it looked like maybe the moment had passed when Emsley sent that ball in, but I think you're spot on with Fuller with that little over-the-shoulder ball. And less than a minute into the opening half of play here tonight, an Angel City strike, and that is a huge goal, not just for tonight, Saskia, but for Messiah Bright and her confidence, which has continued to grow, Becky Tweed told us, over the last month.
Absolutely, but it's a huge goal for the team. Becky Tweed made it clear that she has been pushing the team and telling them we need to score often and score early. We don't want to play games that are 1-0 that we're holding on to. We want to start separating ourselves, and this is a great start.
First corner of the night is presented by Cedars-Sinai. It'll be Claire Emsley, the Scottish international, driving it in on the near post. Ball flicked through, and almost Lily Nabet kind of healing that one in. It was last touched by FC Juárez, and so Angel City FC will get a chance to immediately line it up again. What a start, putting FC Juárez under fire immediately. One shot, one goal. I would say efficient.
Yes, and we're going to see Emsley target the top of the penalty spot. Oops, she's going short.
That's Alyssa Thompson. Thompson will chop it back onto her left foot, use the speed. Numbers inside the area. Rodriguez on the backside, in front, it's 2-0. Add another one. Angel City scoring goals in quick succession.
What a dream start here for Angel City. 2 goals in under 5 minutes.
I think it's Megan Reed. It is. It's her first ever goal in an Angel City shirt. And it's 2-0.
And you're going to see Alyssa Thompson just drive to the end line and then get the ball in and with the flick. And Megan Reed is just spot on to pick up the misclear by Curry. But again, it's just that intensity that Angel City has. They just believe. Play with joy is what Becky Tweed said. Go out there, don't be scared to make mistakes, and play with joy. And we're seeing it right here. 2-0, under 5 minutes.
You've got 2 players that are scoring their first ever goals in Angel City shirts. It's coming inside of 5 minutes of this opening half of play. You can't write this stuff.
Well, we are in Hollywood, Mark. We all are in
Close
Hollywood.
by, right? In the shadows of the Hollywood Hills. By the way, Madison Curry will pick up the assist on that goal. And of course, as we showed you, Kennedy Fuller picking up the assist on the opening goal of the night. Messiah Bright. FC Juárez, Saskia has to be thinking, what have we just walked into right here? Welcome to BMO Stadium.
Well, FC Juárez plays a man marking in the midfield. So Kennedy Fuller, by making those runs, off-ball runs, she's going to open up spaces for those passes to find Bright, to find Emsley. And we're going to see if Juárez doesn't tighten that up, they're going to continue to get punished.
A little high pressure there from FC Juárez. Curry trying to get rid of it. Fuller steps to win it. And now leaves it for Thompson. She was certainly part of the fabric of that second goal, trying to look out wide for Messiah Bright. Instead, pulling it back is Lozada, and she'll play it out on the wide side for Duron.
And you can see right from the start of the game that Angel City's coming out with that high press, jumping all over everything. Again, get goals early and often. Separate yourself so you're not holding on at the end of the game.
Angel City nearly perfect in NWSL play when they do score that first goal. In fact, just one loss all season in 2024 when they've scored that first goal. Gordon will leave that one for Megan Reed, and the confidence just brimming here from the home side in these opening minutes of the first half. Martin will play it out wide. Alancha Blanco attracts a couple of Angel City defenders. Jasmine Spencer, the veteran, right back tonight. And the double team help comes from Claire Emsley, now out and running. Emsley tried to play early central looking for Kennedy Fuller, and that pass is cut out by Eva Gonzalez.
And those are the spaces where Angel City is going to be vulnerable. Juárez's wingers play really, really inverted. That's going to open up the space down the flanks for services and for Juárez's midfield and backs to run into. They're dragging Jasmine Spencer in. They're dragging Madison Curry in. So right now, Angel City has to be cautious of the weak side service and the service in behind.
Right now, it's the high pressure of Angel City that forces the ball to turn over in the Juárez half. Little earlier start than normal here at BMO Stadium. Usually we have the 7:30 start times. And so with the first half kick going just after 7 p.m., we still got fans filing in and settling into their seats for this one.
Imagine filing in and settling in, you're like, it's 2-0.
What did I miss? Fireworks from the get-go. Juárez now looking for a response. Blanco in a foot race, but Megan Reed with the inside step to play back for Didi Hadicic. We expect Hadicic to go 45 minutes tonight and then probably make way for Angelina Anderson. Emsley had to look like she wanted to play the big ball diagonal for Thompson, but instead takes up the space on her own. And now Bright lifting the chin, dipping the shoulder to get to the end line. Great job to chop it back on her left foot. Bright going for the far side. It was deflected away, and now back right in. Messiah Bright had not scored all season for Angel City FC, and in a matter of minutes, she has two.
And this is all Messiah Bright. She sticks with the ball even after the first shot gets deflected. She sees the goalkeeper off her line and then dunks it back in over top. Messiah Bright has shown up tonight. Watch here as Messiah Bright gets the ball, faces up, drives down, decides to cross it, but then cuts it back. But then when she takes the shot here, she doesn't give up. She says, hey, wait, the ball's coming right back to me. Keeper is off her line. She notices that, nothing the goalkeeper can do recover-wise, and just dunks it in over the top.
What awareness from the 24-year-old. And this is the reason these types of movements, these types of plays are the reason why she was in the Rookie of the Year conversation when she played for Orlando last year. We just haven't seen it all year, Saskia.
We haven't. The great word for it, Mark, is awareness. Most players would have shot that first ball, would have been deflected, kind of not ready for the rebound to come right back to, or maybe taking 2 touches there. Instead, she just insides the foot, dunks it over the top for her second goal.
Wright did pick up an assist during the 4 matches of the Summer Cup play. As Nabet goes shoulder to shoulder to try and win it. Good recovery there from Lily Nabet. She does win it back, and now Fuller will pick up the loose ball. And finally settles on the feet of Jasmine Spencer, who will find Didi Hadicic. High pressure here. Angel City deal with it really well. Turnover. Martin stepping in to win it, going 1v1 with Megan Reed. Reed with the inside track and will shepherd it all the way out for a Didi Hadicic, Angel City FC goal kick.
And that's a good look at Martine's dynamic speed that she gets. And when she gets 1v1, she's very, very dangerous. But Megan Reed ushered her out, ushered that ball out, and got her body in between her and Hadicic.
You know, the one question I would have with Angel City, Saskia, jumping out to this 3-0 lead inside the opening 10 minutes, is when you talk about objectives with Becky Tweed and trying to prepare yourself for the stretch run of 10 regular season matches in NWSL play, you wonder if you can still accomplish some of those things with the match getting so lopsided early. I'll get your answer in a moment. This is Blanco on the left foot, but right at Hadicic in the gloves. What would you say?
And you absolutely can, because now you need to focus on other things. You need to stick to your game plan. Maybe if you're going into a lower block, how do we play that? How do we incorporate that without getting punished because we switch from going to a high press to a low block? These are all things to practice to get ready for that second half of the season.
Zingano winning the first ball out in midfield for Juárez, and now a whistle goes in favor of Angel City with Andrea Sanchez in the back there, Claire Emsley. Well, one thing we do know will test will be the patience here of the home side, right? Can they continue to dominate in possession? Can they find the correct pass when it's on? Like this one over the top for Alyssa Thompson. She's got the pace. The teenager chopping it back onto her right foot. She'll call her own number. It's deflected out. But the high press from Jasmine Spencer will run it right back. Spencer to touch it inside for the Costa Rican Rocky Rodriguez. Through for Bright. The return pass, and now Rodriguez wide for Emsley. Matched up 1v1. This is where she can be so dangerous. Sensing the moment not on.
And going back to the question you asked, that's a perfect example. You still don't want to take your foot off the gas. Maybe you're not in the high press, you're in a lower block, but get Alyssa Thompson in. Get that goal that she's been searching for this season. It makes a big difference going into the game against San Diego.
That will not count. Flag was already up against Claire Emsley. The AR had it well up before Emsley unleashed the shot. And the timing of the ball on the long diagonal service into the Scottish international. We'll take that one off the board, excuse me. Just underway, but if you're just stepping into our coverage here on DAZN, you've already seen, or missed it, I should say, 3 goals into the back of the net, 2 by Messiah Bright. Her first and second ever goal playing for Angel City. Remember, she was traded over from Orlando before this season. And also joining in the first-timers club is center back Megan Reed, who had the second of the 3. Good composure there from Hadachich. Gordon will spin away from traffic and find Madison Curry, an NWSL rookie who has continued to play valuable minutes in her first season professionally.
You kind of felt from the beginning, first half of the season, that Reed goal was coming, though. We've seen her come close, pull up some shots on corner kicks from outside the box, from the top of the penalty spot, but hasn't had any joy.
Well, you know what's going to be the capper is if we can get Sarah Gordon her first ever goal with Angel City as well. Can I get the 2 center backs to score on one night?
Don't think it's not going probably through Sarah Gordon's head.
Gordon, the captain, as Becky Tweed told us, has just been incredible in her growth as becoming comfortable with one of the leaders of this team, Blanco. Trying to use the heel pass into the feet of Martin, touched away by Jazz Spencer. So here's Andrea Sanchez to put it back in play. For FC Juárez, you just want to find some positivity right now. Thompson tucked really in narrow, but able to use her speed to get out in some open space. Has the overlapping run from Curry. Instead, it's Thompson. Now for Curry. Flag will stay down, and the Orange County native will run it down. Nabet. And there's the patience we were talking about.
Well done by Angel City to see it's not on. Curry to see it's not on. Pull it back, say, okay, patience. Let's work this around. Let's find the right lines to bypass. Let's find the right space. Don't force it. And this is stuff you take into the second half of the season.
Good save there from Claire Emsley. I will say this, I love Alyssa Thompson, right? It's a double-edged sword. I love her being selfish to try and get her name on the scoring sheet. But I thought the early ball and the overlap from Madison Curry was on. She had a ton of open space in that movement. Here is Fuller with some space of her own. Lozada sliding over to DAZN 1v1, and that one will wind up in the gloves of Masciarelli.
And Angel City is doing really well to follow up any shots that come in, because Masciarelli plays a little bit in kind of a no man's land on shots from outside the box and right around the top of the D, and she can drop balls and bobble balls. So I think you're going to see Angel City framing the goal, following up every shot to see if they can clip one.
Saw the shot of Becky Tweed over there on the bench. I think Angel City fans, without question, this is stating the obvious, Saskia. There's no whistle and play on here. Juárez wins up with the ball, hoping she can produce a similar run as to what she did last year when she took over for Freya Kuhn in the stretch run. I think it was 1 loss in the second half of the season. They had the best record in the second half of the season and ultimately made their way to their first postseason berth.
We talked to Becky Tweed about the advantages of having her entire team available during the Olympic break. I think it's a huge advantage. You don't have the load that was put on players like Girma and Rodman. Girma played every single minute of every game.
Fuller Looked like she wanted to let one go. Instead, Nabat will let one go, and it goes up into row 10.
And Becky Tweed said it gave them the time. They needed this time as a team to work on things, to manage loads, to recover. And if you imagine some teams like Gotham and Washington, where 6 players have been gone for six weeks, I think it's going to make a huge difference coming into the second half of the season. And hey, anybody can make the playoffs. 3 points below 8th.
Right now, Angel City sitting on 15 points out of their 16 games. Knocked out over on the far side. There is Sarah Gordon again, not just the captain, but she has been a stout leader across the back 4. She won't get that Iron Woman for the 3rd time in her career because she had to miss a couple of games with an injury. But every time she is on the field, you can tell with the leadership and her speed, her ability to read the game back there, just different level, and that's why she was NWSL Best 11 a season ago. Here she is to play it back for Hadachich. Curry, tons of space now. Juárez chasing to get numbers back. Bright, already 2 goals tonight. Can she complete the hat trick? Can't wait to find out. Sanchez will knock it back. Singano with the square ball all the way across. Here is the Tanzanian defender. It's Fuller who will pressure the ball. Castillo bypassing lines to play it forward, and FC Juárez turn it over. Into space, Thompson using that speed again. Alyssa Thompson had trouble with the first touch, goes down inside the area, the ball still loose, and a point to the penalty spot. Angel City FC, through the hard work of Alyssa Thompson, are gonna have a chance to make it 4.
Such smart play by Alyssa Thompson. She drew this penalty, driving towards the goal, cutting inside of her defender and getting herself clipped. This is a professional play. So if you watch Alyssa Thompson here, she cuts inside Juárez's defender, who takes her down. There's really nothing else the defender can do but run into Thompson. She draws that penalty kick.
It's Destiny Duron, the LA native, who picks up the yellow there for that foul. And now Alyssa Thompson, as Claire Emsley handed over the ball to the 19-year-old. She had 4 goals in NWSL play a year ago. That's her first of 2024. Thompson is on the board, and Angel City have 4 in the first half.
This is a great PK by Alyssa Thompson. So confident on the ball. You could tell that she wanted this goal so bad. But when you watch her step up for this PK, she just buries it side netting with pace and confidence. Opens up her hips, dunks it into the corner. Nothing can be done about this. It is a little high, fingertips on it, but the pace is what puts it in the back of the net.
Saskia, you may recall, she scored her first ever professional goal against a different Mexican club, Club America, back on March the 26th of 2023, right here at BMO Stadium. We were on the call for that one, and now she opens her 2024 goal-scoring account from the penalty spot in the 19th minute, and Angel City have their wings out and are flying high in the first half.
The Galaza from outside the 18, far left corner of the box to the opposite upper 90.
That's right.
I absolutely remember that goal.
So, and hopefully that one here tonight maybe is the spark for the final 10 games of NWSL play. Remember, Angel City will head south to San Diego next weekend, a week from tonight, to get back into league play. Bright pressuring the ball. Shepherded out there by Singano.
But these are all positives for Angel City to take out of the first half. I know we still have a lot of time to go.
Yes, we do. We haven't even hit the midway point.
But also to take into the rest of the season. Now you've got Alyssa Thompson on the board. Bright is firing on all cylinders, and they're still staying organized, compact, and not giving up anything in the back.
FC Juárez did play a match in Apertura play 2 nights ago. It was a 1-0 loss against one of the premier teams in their league, Monterrey. So a little bit of squad rotation on the night for Oscar Fernandez, their head coach. But I don't think anybody in FC Juárez probably expected to see the scoreline go this way in the opening 21.5 minutes. Angel City fans would tell you they were expecting to see somewhat of an explosion.
But I think even when we talked to Becky Tweed, she didn't. I don't think she expected this explosion either.
Nice little ball back from Bright. Is Emsley going to get in on it? Emsley! It's all gone wrong for FC Juárez, and the lights are shining bright at BMO Stadium for Angel City, who make it 5-0.
And again, Bright involved in another goal-scoring opportunity. We're going to see Bright get the ball here, and just that little dink into Emsley, who drives to the goal. And you know when Emsley's 1v1 going at goal, she's going to tuck it away. She draws it. She draws in Martial and just tucks it by her.
What a little exchange right there. And that is the 8th goal in 2024 in all competitions for Claire Emsley. And Messiah Bright, for the 2nd time in a month, adds an assist to her ledger.
But can we talk about Messiah Bright tonight? Just finding those spaces, and we talked about it in the open, Mark, that if those players in the midfield were playing man marking and Kennedy Fuller pulled them out of the space, then you had Rodriguez and you have the rest of the back line being able to find Bright's feet by bypassing lines, and that's what we're seeing here.
A clinic being put on here in the first half through 23 minutes and change by Angel City FC.
I mean, Bright checking back into that space that was left open by Kennedy Fuller. The ball gets played in, and then it's just a one-touch to an on-rushing Emsley. That's just, you can't write that up any better.
Straight off the training ground.
Straight off the training ground in prep for the way FC Juárez plays.
That will win the first ball out of the air, and it looks like FC Juárez are already preparing their first change tonight. And Angel City is going to prepare their first as well. Ball in for Martin. And knocked out for an Angel City throw.
You know, Mark, I love this substitution.
I think we all do.
I love this substitution that's about to come.
Let's wait.
Wait for the surprise. You got it.
25th minute of play. Gordon, the captain. This scoreline certainly will give Becky Tweed's script of how she wanted to maybe run the substitutions tonight here in this international friendly a different feel. Because for certain players, well, for all players for Angel City, for that matter, health is a key concern when it gets a little bit lopsided like this. Megan Reed, she had the 2nd of the 5 tonight with the long diagonal ball for Curry.
I still think you bring in a Kristen Press, because as we talked about in the open, you have to get her game ready and game minutes. It's different than on the training ground. So I still think we see a Kristen Press come in. It's possible we don't see a Sydney LaRue come in.
Yeah, she only featured as a sub in one of the 4 Summer Cup games, LaRue. She knows what's expected of her when she steps on, so I think you're right. Sydney LaRue is a player you want to let her get really as close to 100% as she can for the stretch run, because she will be vital.
And there are no limits on substitutions tonight, so technically everybody can play.
Correct.
But I still think you're going to look more like a Casey Fair. You might not put an M.A. Vignola in. Madison Hammond might not come in this situation.
Fuller able to get away from the challenge, attacking the edge of the 18. Now Curry waits for Thompson to pop into some space. Thompson looking for more. She'll play it inside for Bright. Good hold-up play inside the 18. A great turn and deflected out for what will be Angel City FC's third first-half corner. Brimming with confidence, Messiah Bright. Love to see it.
And you're just going to see Messiah Bright hold up Juárez's defense and still get something out of it. Like you said, brimming with confidence, and that's what you want. And it's everybody's feeling it. You know, it's trickling down to the entire team.
Third corner, 27th minute, presented by Cedars-Sinai. Short corner for Nabet, tough ball to handle. She was coming back onto her left foot. Emsley delivered a sharp pass onto her right foot, and so nothing coming out of that opportunity. Alyssa Thompson scoring from the penalty spot in the 19th minute. And going back to Saskia's point about building depth and talking about Kristen Press, who we actually expect to see at some point here in the first half. Becky Tweed was very straightforward, saying, I want to see what it looks like when Kristen Press plays with Alyssa Thompson and Claire Emsley. Team stepping in, full head of steam, and look at Megan Reed just shield the ball away. Making sure the 23-year-old did not bear down for an opportunity on goal. Rodriguez couldn't get there, but deflected out by Nabet.
You know, it's just great work by Megan Reed. You just see her shoulder to shoulder with Martine. But Megan Reed's been described as an old school defender. You know, gets stuck in, puts her body in between the ball, and does the hard work, and you saw it right there.
She was a 2022 Iron Woman after the player that's right next to her, Sarah Gordon, suffered the injury right before the inaugural season for Angel City FC. Now those two, especially since the trade that sent Paige Nielsen to Houston early on in the season, those two have become the two center backs. They played all 90 minutes of all 4 games in the Summer Cup.
And they're working very well together, both Reed and Gordon, because they're two totally different types of center backs. Like I said, Megan Reed likes to get stuck in. She's old school, and then you have Sarah Gordon, who loves to go forward on a dribble, break lines. One stays, one goes.
Going to the bench here in the first half, substitution presented by Sprouts Farmers Market, and it's the debut of Hannah Stamba. The 25-year-old Japanese goalkeeper steps into the pipes in a match for the first time for Angel City FC.
And I really like this substitution. This is the first time we're seeing Hannah play. I've had the privilege of watching her in training sessions for Angel City. She is a pure shot stopper. She's Didi Harachich and Angelina Anderson put together. I like to see if she gets some action so we can see her in action. I don't know if we'll see that much out of her this afternoon, but this is a great substitution.
She was acquired in a transfer in January, and a well-deserved break anyway for Didi Harachich. She played 2 of the 4 Summer Cup matches, so she's fresh and ready to go with the return next weekend to NWSL play against San Diego.
And Angelina Anderson, who played the other 2 Summer Cup matches, had a really good Summer Cup. Solid games, so she's ready to go as well. This goalkeeper, Hannah Steinbrock, is just, she's fun to watch. She's dynamic, she's explosive. Let's see if she gets some action.
And we've also seen her off the field, right, with her personality, and you know, side by side at times with June Endo early on in the season. Gordon to relay it out wide for Curry. This left side has been fruitful in this first half for Angel City. Fuller making the run, but instead it's Julita Singano who was there to intercept for FC Juárez. Fuller now spinning about 40 yards away from the FC Juárez goal. Rocky Rodriguez will send it toward the corner. Lozada there to defend and pick it up, but only for a moment. Legs tangle on the far side. And a free kick coming here.
And I think one of the changes we're seeing a little bit in FC Juárez by Coach Oscar Fernandez is trying to get his wingers to stay a little bit wider and stretch the field. They're too compact, and with that double pivot of Angel City's just eating up anything that's coming down the center of the plane.
Fuller will pick up the possession. Hemsley calling for it in the center circle on the right side of your screen, but instead, ball stays on the floor for Jazz Spencer. Able to get it past that first challenge of Diana Martin, and it looks like FC Juárez have actually shifted some pieces around. Same 11 out there for Oscar Fernandez, the Spanish head coach. But, for example, Martin, who started in a central forward role, she's now moved to the left side, and pushing further up is Desiree Monsivais.
And what I know Fernandez is doing there is just trying to isolate her with Jasmine Spencer on the outside and see if Martine can go 1v1 against Spencer, because she wasn't having any joy in the center of the field against Gordon and Reed.
Here is the aforementioned Reed, touching inside for Hemsley. Wisely gets it off of her feet quickly. And Betts trying to tackle it away. Sangano will come through and just clear it into Angel City's half. That's where Sarah Gordon has a beat on her. And the first touch of her Angel City career there for Stamba, almost a little bit heavy, and had to send it in between the benches out for an FC Juárez throw.
Little nerves there, I'd say, on that first touch, but it's always get that first one out of the way. It's why a lot of teams, when you sub a goalkeeper and a goalkeeper comes in for the first time, you'll see defenders or midfielders play that first ball back to a goalkeeper, allowing the goalkeeper to get a couple touches on the ball, feel confident with their passing and their distribution.
Well, we hope you're enjoying our international friendly coverage here tonight on DAZN. You can also look forward to some exciting leagues kicking off soon, with the DFB Pokal starting on August 20th, Frauen Bundesliga starting August 30th. We're also the global home of Liga Femenil, as well as that one bounces all the way back into the gloves of Mascherelli. That league will get underway on September the 7th. We cannot wait. Register for free at DAZN.com. That's DAZN.com/women's football for access to live and on-demand matches in selected territories. Thompson looking for another, and she skies it over the bar. Would it have been too much to ask for 6 here in the first half? Wow.
And I love that Thompson is taking on 1v1 and trying to get that goal in the run-up play, not just the goal off the PK. We've seen this throughout the beginning half of the season where she's just missing on this shot. So I think it'll be huge for her to actually tuck one of these away.
Confidence was a big word, and a buzzword, I should say, as that ball dips out in between the benches for Becky Tweed in our conversation prior to coming into this one.
And freedom to play with joy and make mistakes.
That's a lot of words.
That is a lot of words. Those are the buzzwords that stuck out of my head.
I agree. And I think we're seeing all of that so far here in 35 minutes of this first half. Back for Stamba. If you missed it, she just stepped on, making her Angel City FC debut. Getting an opportunity to get some minutes for some players that might not normally see the field for Becky Tweed and Angel City. Long serpentine run here from Curry. Fuller, as that one's deflected and just goes over the top of the bar. It'll be a fourth first half corner coming.
And it's good movement by Curry, driving into the top of the D, and then the little dump off to Fuller. But this is what I was talking about with Marsha Reel playing in the wrong position for shots at the top of the box. She's too far off her line and kind of in no man's land at about the 4-yard line. So anything that does get deflected is going to could drop in over the top of her.
Corner kick in the 36th minute, presented by Cedar Sinai. first one from this side as Emsley knocks it into the back post. Headed down and in front, Bright almost had one, and I think she might. Did Messiah Bright make it 3? Yes, we see you, Messiah. Doing everything she can under the bright lights. The hat-trick hero here in the first half, and that makes it 6 for Angel City.
Whoa, is it Messiah Bright's night for sure. And we're gonna see this ball come in off the corner kick. Watch as Angel City just keeps it alive with Paige Nielsen heading it down. It's a perfect place for Paige Nielsen to head the ball. You head the ball down, it causes problems. Bounces up right off the goalkeeper, bobbles the ball, Messiah Bright tucks it in, but it's all because Paige Nielsen headed it down. Megan Reed headed it down.
And Messiah Bright with the curtain call right there to make it a hat trick. And just as we suspected, with 10 minutes to go, Kristen Press will step on here. And
that's just smart play by Megan Reed.
And a welcome return to the field again. Remember, 700 plus days, almost 800 days to be fair, since that knee injury. They kept her out. She played 8 games the very first season. Remember, Press is the first ever player that Angel City added to their roster. That came all the way back in August of 2021. Fuller now. Emsley, she's already got one. She's got some help, looking for Press. And again, this is a dynamic we want to see here tonight, Saskia. The minutes between Emsley, Press, and Alyssa Thompson. What does that look like?
You want to build those relationships and dynamic within the game and game play. You're going to see Kristen Press play high, play a true 9, and then Emsley and Alyssa Thompson run off her, look to find her feet.
Jasmine Spencer will pick up the whistle and the free kick. Press, the SoCal native from west of here, Palos Verdes. And the former star at Stanford University, could be a huge boost to Angel City's chances of making a run into the playoffs if she can find some form here heading into the final 10 games of the regular season. Here's Emsley, short on the free kick to find the teenager, Kennedy Fuller. Now Emsley will serve it in onto the back post. Headed away, Rodriguez. Couldn't find the first touch, and maybe a transition moment coming here for FC Juárez. Can they break out? But a ton of Angel City jerseys, including Madison Curry, tracking back to ultimately win the ball and possession. '39th minute, don't adjust your screens at all. It is 6-0 Angel City, which included a hat trick from Messiah Bright, who is now watching from the bench, with Kristen Press coming into the fold. And we were told Press minutes continue to be monitored, so thus the reason to get her in here to start the final 10 minutes or so of this first half. We expect to see her in the early minutes of the second half. Spencer on the pass from Press. Spencer attracts 3 FC Juárez defenders. Now wide for Emsley. Emsley. Get the service off cleanly. It's cleared away. Team looking to head it forward into space. And the bet getting the push in the back there from Weiss.
And those are the moments you want to see Emsley kind of take a breath, not force that ball, bring it back, work it back around. Because that cross wasn't on. We saw it get blocked and almost turned into a transitional moment for FC Juárez.
Madison Hammond. And
we're just going to
Sydney LaRue on the bench there.
We're just going to see Lily Nabet's foot get clipped out from under her. No ill intent, but no ball gotten there. Angel City gets the foul.
Really clean first half here for Angel City. Love to close it out with this scoreline. If you add 1 or 2 more, sure, that's great, but keep that 0 on the board, keep the positives going, keep the possession going. Reed has had a spectacular first half. Look at the layoff there from Press, and the return pass from Emsley. Press on the corner, and that ball into the back post, a little too close, and into the gloves of Masciarelli.
But Kristen Press doing what Kristen Press does best, just finding those little spaces, the one-touch layoff for the pickup, getting the ball back, and then the service into the box.
Love to see it. Fuller tugged down from behind, and that will give Angel City FC a quality spot for a free kick. It was Castillo who will pick up the second booking tonight.
We're going to see the tug on the back of Kennedy. Fuller's back, goes down to the ground. Smart play by Fuller to take that foul. But now the more important thing is to use this moment really to work on Emsley's free kick from outside the box. Maybe she puts this on frame and follows up by Angel City's follows up to see if there's a rebound.
Right, these are training ground things that you want to work on as a team heading into the stretch run of the season. Good ball out in front, Press nearly with a chance, and the second chance goes over the bar from Rocky Rodriguez. Oh, wouldn't that have been part of the Hollywood script? Kristen Press in the run of play there.
What a dangerous service by Claire Emsley. It's the service that goalkeepers hate to see. It comes whipping in behind. Watch here. She gets her boot behind it. It drops right in too far for the keeper to come. And everybody's running at you. It's what you hate to see as a goalkeeper. And then Rocky Rodriguez just misses, goes over the top.
Angel City pressing for number 7 here in just the opening 45 minutes. As we're here in the 43rd, a hat trick from Messiah Bright, including the opener 20 seconds in to the first half. Claire Emsley has added one, Megan Reed has added one, and Alyssa Thompson, for the second time in her career, finding the back of the net against a team from Liga MX Femenil. Here on DAZN, the global home of women's football, we've got some exciting leagues kicking off soon, with Serie A commencing on the 30th of August, Arkema Premier League on the 21st of September, and the Saudi Women's Premier League starting the 27th of September. Fans can register for free at DAZN.com/women's football for access to live and on-demand matches in select territories. Here come the hosts one more time. Thompson, and a big save to not allow a 7th goal from Renata Masciarelli. She's been tested tonight, Saskia, but that was the first time she passed.
She has. It was a big save. She was a little bit out of position on that. I think that if Alyssa Thompson had kind of lifted that and tried to bend it, it was on. She was a little far off her line, but just seeing Thompson drive with the command to drive to the box, take on 1v1, watch her put her boot through this, it's a big save by Masciarelli.
And then that fifth first half corner presented by Cedars-Sinai. No initial chance on the first service. Kennedy Fuller trying to keep it alive. Nabet had it knocked out from underneath her, and a whistle is going to give a free kick to Angel City in a really good spot as well. Some frustration starting to brew for Desiree Monsivais. She will be the 3rd FC Juárez player booked here by our referee Alyssa Nichols in the first half. The veteran midfielder was having a conversation with our referee Alyssa Nichols earlier in the first half, wanting a card to go against Angel City. And you can see here as the whistle goes, and then she just knocks it away, and that's the reason for the yellow. So we saw Emsley a moment ago, a little further distance out, trying to knock it in onto the back post for Kristen Press. What do the hosts have drawn up here? Emsley, direct effort! Emsley, number 2 on the night! And Angel City FC with a touchdown in the first half. 7-0.
This is a world-class goal by Claire Emsley. Stepping up from that spot and putting her boot through it. We're gonna see laces, upper 90. nothing Marsha Lee can do about it.
Well, we said at the onset of our coverage here on DAZN, she has been the unquestionable MVP in 2024 for Angel City FC. And putting it on display tonight, the 30-year-old Scottish international with 2 goals here in the first half. And a sensational strike right there from about 30-plus yards out into the upper corner. You got the sense that Masciarelli was cheating a little bit because of that last free kick that went to Christian Press, and that she wasn't so sure if it wasn't going to happen for a second time. And boy, did Claire Emsley catch her cheating right there.
And this is exactly what we were talking about off the training ground. These are times to practice these things. Claire Emsley, step up, take a strike through that, see if you can get some joy on the end of it, and she did.
There's been a ton of stars here in this first half, including Messiah Bright, as she joins us here on our coverage as we've hit halftime with a 7-0 lead. Messiah, I mean, I can use a lot of adjectives to describe that first half right there. How would you describe it?
It's just an honorable feeling. I think that's a team effort that wouldn't be possible without my teammates. So, yeah, it's just I was just happy to get on the board quick for the team, and yeah.
Messiah, what was the mentality coming into this game? You guys are playing with so much joy and freedom. How's the whole team feeling right now?
The teams, we're all on track. I think that was our motto coming out, is just having fun and letting loose, and being our own canvas and painting our own picture. So that's basically what we're doing, and we're just connecting in the final third. The defense is doing a great job, and it's a team effort all around.
You know, you hadn't scored in an Angel City shirt in an official match coming into tonight, so I guess you decided to maybe make up for a little lost time. You bagged 3 here in the first half, Messiah. I mean, you better tell whoever's in the dressing room that's going to come out for the second half, they've got a lot to live up to. I'm assuming you're going to let them know.
Man, it's an honor being able to do that. I only had 35 minutes, so I had to put my best foot for it, but whoever's stepping in on the pitch as well, they're gonna give their best foot too, and I have all the confidence in the world, whoever comes in for my position.
We know this is gonna be the spark for a huge final 10 games down the stretch for you. Thanks for stopping through.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
That's Messiah Bright, the former TCU Horned Frog. She opens her Angel City FC goal-scoring account with a hat trick tonight here in the first half, and her teammates add 4 more. Yes, it is 7-0 Angel City FC over FC Juárez through 45 minutes in this international friendly. We've got full halftime chat coming next.
What does a bank like BMO know about soccer? We know that it gives kids goals on and off the pitch.
By bringing the best players on the planet, it gets people more involved in the game. Ongeberg, Irina Sabalenka coming here to Saudi to play. 2 women going head-to-head in this arena, making history. And then you have Novak Djokovic versus Carlos Alcaraz. Be able to have the greatest of all time, the #1 player on the planet, against the guy who's #2 in the world, who's been the youngest ever world #1.
A love for the game of tennis makes me give my 100%.
I've been waiting for tennis to come to Saudi, and it's really exciting, especially for female. I think it is very important for us. Definitely, we'll give it all.
Have these greats in the game playing head-to-head is really special. You couldn't ask much more for this competition.
Hello people, me again. Fight Week on DAZN is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights. That and so much more, even before the bell rings.
In the box, Aaron Cuthbert pulls the trigger.
That is unstoppable. By Tana Bonmati, the world's best player.
That's a superb goal. Nicely on the turn.
is amazing. What a finish.
Live on DAZN August 24th. Floyd Money Mayweather versus John Gotti III. The best ever in a bad-blooded rematch.
This is more than personal.
A 15-0 perfect record and still performing at the highest level, but with the legacy of his name. John Gotti III is looking to write boxing history. The first fight ended in chaos. Now they must collide once more. Mayweather versus Gotti III, August 24th. Live on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Looks like they mean business here.
Cristiano Ronaldo does find the back of the net. Karim Benzema.
Glorious, glorious football. It's Mitrovic, it's in.
I thought I was done. I was getting older. I felt like I had given all I had for the country and felt like maybe I didn't have much more in the tank. So it wasn't even a question that I would continue. And I got on a call with the coach and kind of just pushed me on, and we took it one game at a time. And yeah, just to see what happened with the team and how things gelled, how the players started going out into Europe, playing with big clubs, the younger guys, and just how much better we got as a team, and then to see how the country started rallying behind us over those 3-4 years, which we didn't have before. You know, we used to play a lot of games at home, and we would play home games against Honduras, for example, and they had the majority of their fans were in the stadium. So just amazing to see how everything came together right at the end of my career. In Denmark, we were playing in Champions League. You know, we qualified. We played against Ajax away and had a historical win for the club. And you know, from that moment, for me, it was my dream. You know, I grew up watching Champions League, every week, and to have that moment at playing a Champions League game, that was a dream come true for me.
And the Champions League is the coup de grace. It's the highest level that you can really hope to play for whenever it comes to club soccer. So what were your memories of playing in the Champions League? What was the best thing about it, and also the first goal that you ever scored?
Yes, well, just like that first game we played in the Champions League, hearing the song when you're walking out onto the pitch, it gives you goosebumps. You know,
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, it's you always hear it on the television, but to actually hear that playing out in the stadium, the whole stadium singing the song, it's a special moment.
Imagine the backdrop of a city or of the rainforest in the Amazon or the Antarctic.
We want to celebrate an important element of our story, which is the water.
It's all about speed, electrification, saving the planet in the most incredible cities in the world.
As Formula E and Extreme E want to promote electric cars, I think the next big challenge to electrify the water.
We are pushing the boundaries of technologies in order to race towards a better world. The future is electric. It's not a choice, it's a responsibility.
E1 wants to bring electric powerboat racing to rivers, lakes, oceans.
We want to build a global championship.
Welcome to the future.
Get on board.
Lovely turn by Dumornay.
Will Benfica take a lead with them to France for the second leg? Carpenter's ball over. Well, they've equalised. Cascarino with the big moment for Lyon.
Defenders an absolute rocket into the back of the net.
Almost ripping the net from its hinges. Something has got to change for the big Swede here as he meets another right hand to the body.
You can see it in his eyes, total focus, but his body, his balance, everything's there.
And he stopped Wally from really committing to the shot.
He's getting closer and closer with that right hand. And it's because he's been throwing it to the stomach that's opening up the chin shot.
Holland's got to get AJ's respect.
This is the AJ of old, almost. The way he's throwing the shots with real meaning.
Oh, he got caught with a 1-2 piece. Finisher that he used to be.
Is the power and the speed still there? Can he be the wrecking ball that he was once in his career?
Every fight has consequence. There is so much on the line.
It's the greatest fight card, I would say, in the history of the sport.
There's been a lot said about me meeting with Eddie Hearn for the first time.
Two top promoters in the UK have never even met.
This has been a coming together. This has been a light bulb moment.
10 boxers from the top 15. That's extraordinary.
It's the craziest card ever. It's not supposed to be this good.
It was time for everybody to get together.
When you didn't think it could get any better, it gets better.
December 23rd changes the landscape and the course of heavyweight history. I know how to fight, and I'll fight to win.
Looks like they mean business here. Cristiano Ronaldo does find the back of the net.
Karim Benzema.
Glorious, glorious football. It's Mitrovic, it's in.
The Zone is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year. And you can relive history by watching the biggest fights at any time. Just head to DAZN.com and go to previous events to catch up on all the action from the biggest nights in boxing.
They're into trouble! The big fella! Garcia is having the fight of his life on the biggest stage possible!
That is unstoppable.
Gaetano Bonmatini, the world's best player.
That's a superb goal.
Lashley on the turn.
She's amazing.
What a finish.
Live on DAZN August 24th. Floyd Money Mayweather versus John Gotti III. The best ever in a bad-blooded rematch.
This is more than personal.
A 15-0 perfect record and still performing at the highest level, but with the legacy of his name. John Gotti III is looking to write boxing history. The first fight ended in chaos. Now they must collide once more. Mayweather versus Gotti III, August 24th. Live on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
And what you have to do next.
They will actually be back in action in the Apertura on Sunday against Club Tijuana. They'll be back at Estadio Olímpico Benito Juárez. Kennedy Fuller, the Texas native teenager, performing in that number 10 role in the first half. And it looks like wholesale changes coming here in the second half for head coach Oscar Fernandez and FC Juárez. A whole boatload of players coming on. We'll get you up to speed with those changes in a moment. As it looks like 6 or 7 different players stepping out onto the field for this second half. And why not, Saskia? You want to try and get some extra minutes, knowing that the return to the Liga MX Femenil Apertura is just a week away. We're underway in the second half here on DAZN as the teams have switched ends. Angel City FC up 7-0 after 45 minutes and now attacking from right to left across your screen. We can tell you, Hannah Stambach got the final few minutes in goal in place of Didi Hadicic, but Angelina Anderson, the second-year pro out of Cal Berkeley, has stepped in, which was really the game plan all along here in the second half to get things going. Vignola also coming into the fold, the 26-year-old former Tennessee Vol.
And MA showing her versatility there, coming in for Alyssa Thompson up top. Can play in the back. We've seen her in the back for Angel City multiple times.
There she is on the ball, and she sends that one over the top of the crossbar.
But now gets a nod at outside winger.
So just 2 changes to come in the second half. There's Angelina Anderson, the 23-year-old NorCal native. She started the first 3 games of the 2024 NWSL season, but Hadicic has taken back over that #1 spot. I mean, Becky Tweed told us, right, she is the future probably as far as goalkeeping for Angel City, but Didi is the #1 right now.
And she has some growing to do, and you saw it actually in the Summer Cup. She had 2 really solid games in the Summer Cup. She's come a long way from those first 3 games and will continue to improve and grow. She's a solid #2 for Angel City, or like I say, a #1.5.
1 and a 1A, right?
1.5, 1 and a 1A.
Spinning chance there. Priska Chilufa, one of 7 different changes to come on here in the second half. The Zambian forward. We'll try and see if she can make a dent in the 7-goal lead for
And I think it makes sense for Juárez to mix it up as well. Send in these 9 subs, get them running and playing. They did just come off a game on Friday, so let's get some fresh legs in there and see what different combinations can produce.
As we're just getting the second half started with Angel City. I wouldn't call it coasting Saskia Weber out to a 7-0 lead, excuse me. But they looked pretty comfortable in everything they did in the first 45 minutes. Glad to have you along here for this international friendly on DAZN. Saskia Weber, Mark Rogan, your normal pairing when it comes to calling Angel City action, but really pleased to be joined by the new diamond in the jewelry case for Angel City FC. And of course, I'm talking about Katie Zalem joining us here on our broadcast on DAZN. I guess first thing I would say is officially from us to welcome to Southern California. I imagine it's been quite a wild ride for you so far.
Yeah, it has. Been here almost a week now, and I've been doing all sorts, sorting the apartment, been to get my visa, so now I feel much more settled.
I would have said, I would have said like finding my new place to live, but I think sorting my apartment sounds much better. I like it.
What are some of the immediate differences that you've noticed besides the weather from Manchester to here?
Yeah, the weather for sure.
Yeah.
The sunsets are awful, I know.
And the moon.
I think just from watching the game, you can tell it's so physical, the league over here. I think there's a lot more transitions, and it's something that I'm excited to be a part of and hopefully get in there and be able to connect the attack to defense a little bit more.
Well, when you talk about transition, Becky Tweed, we asked her about you coming into the fold with this team, and she said noticing on videotape, watching the way you play, you seem to be a couple of snapshots ahead of certain moments, especially in transition. Is that something that's always been part of your game, or something that has grown with you with your time in Manchester, Juventus, Liverpool?
Yeah, I think I enjoy watching football. I read the game quite well, so I think that always helps if you can think one step ahead when you're playing, and or you can predict where you think the attack's going to be, or maybe shutting down their attack.
And you've gotten reunited with fellow players before. You're back playing with Kristen Press. And one of your closest friends, Claire Emsley, talk about how that is to just be reunited.
Yeah, it's so nice. Before I'd even signed, I spoke to both of them, so that was nice to get a bit of insight. I was actually meant to be a bridesmaid at the same wedding as Claire this summer. So that's funny to be now reunited in LA and back playing with Chris. I think everyone knows the qualities she brings, so I'm excited for that.
If you give people an idea of what your game is going to bring here to Angel City, what are some of the characteristics? I think because there'll be people that are avid followers, especially of Manchester United and all your success there, that are avid for your time with the English national team. But there'll be some people that are new to Katie and want to understand what you bring to the field, maybe tactically.
Yeah, I think I'll bring calmness. I like to play with composure and technical ability, and also hopefully some set-piece assists.
We like that. And how about your friend Claire Emsley with that laser in the top corner for number 7 of the night?
Yeah, I taught that one.
I love it.
Oh my God, what a perfect answer. What about tonight? What are you seeing tonight that excites you?
A lot of goals.
Yes.
They ran out of smoke and pyro out there because of the 7 goals. I always like to ask this to international players especially, and players with your type of experiences. FC Juárez brings this one in the attacking end for a moment, a rare foray forward for the Liga MX side. Who were the players that you emulated growing up when you were playing, when you were maybe in your early teens that you wanted to play like? Was it a Manchester United? Was it a Roy Keane? Was it a David Beckham? Was it someone on the women's game?
Maybe a Kelly Smith?
Yes.
Thank you. Drop that in there for you.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Kelly Smith was...
I played for Kelly.
Yeah, one of the best English players who've ever been, but I also love Pirlo. Also at Juventus, I think how he plays, controls the game, is able to slow everything down to how he wants to play and then speed it up. I think Iniesta is another one. I think they're the type of people that only come around once every so often, the same as Kelly, and I think that's what better people to look up to.
Yeah, I mean, some pretty good names right there, right? I think, and Kelly Smith during her time playing here in the States scored some fantastic goals.
On me. On me. She was like my one nemesis. Like, you have that one player you play against that always seems to score on you. That was Kelly.
Well, it wasn't just only you, Saskia. I mean, she scored against a lot of goals here in the States, right?
Well,
whether it was
WSA
or WPS, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, fantastic player. Coming into the second half of the season, do you feel any sort of nerves or anything or pressure coming on top of you? I mean, being in 11th, but knowing that we're just in touching different distance of the playoffs, how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I think I've been pretty open. That's my main aim of the season, to try and contribute in whatever way I can to the team and get into the playoffs. Straight from coming in, I spoke to Angel City and I said, wherever I am, I want to win. So for the rest of this season and hopefully seasons going forward, that will be my aim, and I'm sure that was a close one.
That was back post ball off the crossbar. Anderson had to make sure she goes down to her left to see that one wide, but the first real chance for FC Juárez in the match tonight comes here in the 54th minute. One of Angel City's newest players, Katie Zalem, joining us here in the booth here on DAZN as we take another look at that one, Saskia.
Yeah, we're going to see the service in and then the powerful header. And I think that Anderson did get a tip on that. I always go to default on the keeper. She absolutely got a tip on that to hit it into the crossbar and keep it out.
That was Mercado with the service and Asad Taiwa with the back post header there. Well, before we let you go, some of the exciting things that we can look forward to, obviously seeing you on the field of play. Do you have any one thing that, you know, maybe you've heard about LA or you want to see in LA while you start your time here? In addition to the sunsets.
Has Elizabeth Eddy offered to take you surfing yet?
Well, I've heard a lot of the girls are good at surfing, so I'm not sure I'm going to be quite up to their standard.
First things first. We appreciate you stopping by and getting a chance to get you on with us here in DAZN. We look forward to a great rest of the season and even bigger things to come, obviously, down the road, because we know it's not just 10 games, right? We're going to have you here for a while.
Yeah, you're stuck with me now.
I love it.
It's a good thing to have. We'll take it. That is Katie Zalem joining us here on DAZN, the newest player added to the roster for Angel City FC. She's only been here about a week, I believe, in the States, but looking forward to getting out on the training ground and being a part of the fabric of this team for the stretch run. Speaking of stretch, it's Kristen Press cutting inside onto her right foot. She'll call her own number, and that one pushed away. As goalkeeper Carla Morales came in here in the second half. She made the save. Is it going to lead to a first, second half corner? It is.
You know, and if Katie's calmness and confidence is half as much as what she just stood here and showed us, we are in for some fun in the second half of the season and in the future.
You know, I think it's only human nature a little bit, right? With a 7-0 lead right now for Angel City FC, to see them concede a chance at one end that didn't go in. It comes off the crossbar, but also, you know, not as many forays forward into the attacking end. This corner, the first one of the second half, presented by Cedar Cyanide. It's Emsley, and the give and go there with M.A. Vignola, centering pass, headed away. Follow-up chance for Fuller will go wide.
Back to your comment, this is exactly, though, what Angel City needs to work on. Even though you're up 7-0, you have to go into the mentality of, we want to keep a clean sheet. What do we have to do that? We want to play solid on defense, stick to our game plan, diffuse situations, work the ball around, not give up chances.
Well, there's your answer with the minutes on the night for Kristen Press. As Sydney Leroux, we weren't so sure we were going to see Sydney Leroux here tonight, but we do get a chance to see the veteran striker step on here. Kristen Press will head to the bench. Claire Emsley will step off. Elizabeth Eddy will step on. You were mentioning Elizabeth Eddy. And in the final part of the trio right there, Casey Fair coming on. Remember, she recently made her debut with Angel City FC during the Summer Cup. And the South Korean international will come on here just before the hour mark.
Going into this game against San Diego next week, this is what Becky Tweed wants to do. I wasn't sure if we were going to see Sid. She did put a lot of minutes in the Summer Cup, but you want to get those legs going. You don't want a player of Sid's caliber to sit out for a full 90 minutes, a full game, and then just go into a week of training. Same with Casey Fair. You want to get Casey Fair and want to get her legs under her. She just had her first appearance during the Summer Cup, so managing her minutes and getting her more game time and connections with those other players.
Fair, the youngest ever signing back in January of 2023 to sign with the club. Right behind her was Kennedy Fuller.
When you talk about depth, Becky Tweed has it. It's starting to show itself at this point in the season when you can bring a Sid LaRue on, you score 7 goals, you have Messiah Bright clicking on all cylinders, Alyssa Thompson. So there is depth there to carry this team through into the playoffs.
Fair laying that ball off perfectly, and now out into space is Sydney LaRue. Waiting, overlapping run inside there from Vignola. Tackled out. It'll be a goal kick or a corner. It'll be a goal kick here for FC Juárez. You know, that's the one question or concern, I should say, I have for Eme Vignola, right? Limited to just 8 appearances here. Remember, she had that really bad ankle injury early on in the season that has kept her appearances down. But if she can find that form that saw her earn in 2023 her first cap with the U.S. Women's National Team, that's another piece, like Kristen Press, like adding Katie Zalem, like adding these pieces for the final stretch run is going to make Angel City so dangerous. Here is Eddie, knocking it in toward the penalty spot, pushed away by FC Juárez.
But even getting an Elizabeth Eddy on, getting these players time builds that depth and confidence, and they play together and they get each other's rhythm, so it doesn't make a difference. And Becky Tweed said this, who the starting lineup is. She doesn't know who the starting lineup is. Or
who the main goal scorer is.
Right, she doesn't know who the starting lineup is next week against San Diego.
So the competitiveness, within the club is certainly driving confidence for a lot of players.
And it's a problem that you want as a coach. I mean, same with FC Juárez right now. Yes, they're down 7-0, but now you make these tactical substitutions. You bring in 9 players. You put a whole new system on the field. And do they shut Angel City down for the rest of this half? And if they do, well, now you tactically going into your next game have to think, maybe I need to make some changes.
Eddie will pressure the ball. It's knocked all the way back. As both teams reset their shape, Morales sends it back out. Angel City has the numbers to win it. This is Kennedy Fuller just outside the edge of the 18, trying to push it through there for fair. And it looks like Oscar Fernandez set to make another change here. End of the night.
And again, we talked about the fact there are no limits. If you're confused and watching, there are no substitution limits tonight. It's a friendly. This is why we talked about multiple players coming in, getting time, building depth for both teams. And so you're seeing that with all these substitutions right now.
It's Aboud that comes in to replace Miriam Castillo. And it looks like Angel City are going to go back to the bench again, which is something we expected coming into tonight. Maggie Dougherty-Howard coming in. Madison Hammond also coming in. So Rocky Rodriguez and Kennedy Fuller will head to the bench.
And this isn't a surprise here for Angel City to sub in Maggie Dougherty-Howard along with Madison Hammond. They've been playing together in the Summer Cup. You want to keep those connections, especially as the double pivot, that holding midfield, both of them side by side at the 6s. You want to keep them clicking going into the rest of the season.
Could be some valuable minutes, too, for Katie Johnson, who was the 3rd player to just step on here. Remember, she battled a bit of injury, and there was some questionability, I should say, whether or not she would be available. Johnson is on.
And we're watching Angel City drop more into a low block, not putting that high pressure on FC Juárez, where Katie Johnson is really good on the high press. She chases the ball down and has perfect timing, but she can still do that once Juárez crosses over the midfield mark.
63rd minute, same scoreline we took into halftime. 7-0 after the opening 45 minutes. But with a whole plethora of changes for FC Juárez here in the second half, they've looked much more dangerous. And in fact, getting more opportunities in and around the Angel City goal. LaRue heads that first one away. Asante Wa trying to win it, but a whistle will go in favor of Angel City, and Angelina Anderson will set up for the free kick outside her 18. DAZN are the global home of UEFA Women's Champions League. Qualifiers are underway with the semi-final taking place on September the 4th. The draw for the group stage of the competition will take place on September the 27th, and you can see it live on DAZN. Speaking of platform, glad to have you along here tonight for our international friendly coverage on DAZN. I think the script has gone according to plan, Saskia Weber. We've had a couple of great guests stop through. We saw Messiah Bright open her goal-scoring account with Angel City. Probably the only ones that aren't really thrilled with how it's been is FC Juárez.
It's a great night for Angel City to take that momentum into the second half of the season. They couldn't have written the script any better, as you said.
Well, the question will be, if we're talking tactics, right? How do they take a performance like this? Because if we have to be transparent here, yes, FC Juárez, a team that is in the top half of the Liga MX Femenil table, but they're not Portland Thorns. They're not Kansas City Current.
What you're going to do coming out of this game is you're going to break down the little things. You're going to see what went well, like this drive by MA right here.
MA entering into the edge of the 18. Late arriving tackle pushes it away. Dougherty Howard bending one in the direction of LaRue. Elizabeth Eddy will track it down in the far side of the 18. Waiting for some help, has Jazz Spencer available. If she chooses to use it, the veteran uses her crafty footwork to get free. And then Morales with the gloves on it at the near post. And you were saying?
I'm just right now loving Elizabeth Eddy's just tenaciousness to take on there, run around the player. The veteran just is so versatile. We see her up top, came in for Claire Emsley. You know she can play outside on back in the left, and she's just such a positive influence on this team.
Many players have pointed to her influence, and in fact, Becky Tweed told us earlier this week, right, we were asking about the chemistry and the collective effort of how you do produce a run like you did in 2023 to earn your first ever NWSL playoff spot, and that was one of the names that immediately rolled off her tongue.
The work ethic from Eddy, but also her leadership and presence off the field is just something Becky Tweed speaks so highly about. She's earned the right to be on this field, and Becky Tweed is very big on that. You earn the right to play. You don't just automatically get to start for Angel City.
As we approach the midway point of the second half.
Casey Fair, Jersey girl.
That's right.
Gotta give the Jersey girl shout outs. You know how I am about that.
And you wonder what role she may play in the second half of the season in those final 10 games of NWSL play. Now that we're seeing more minutes from her here in this last month under Becky Tweed.
And remember, you still have Giselle Thompson that we haven't seen tonight and coming back. And she's had such an exciting first half of the season that I can't wait to see what she does second half.
It goes back to your comment about depth, as Curry will cut that one away from pressure. And here is M.A. Vignola back for Reed, who under pressure has to first time it away. Johnson able to turn the ball over in favor of Angel City, and then she's tripped up from behind by Danelli Farias.
What you're seeing from Angel City is M.A. dropping back onto the outside left back. And we see Katie Johnson driving in, going 1v1, and just getting tugged down from behind. What I was saying is you see Madison Curry slide in into the back next to Megan Reed. Those are situations you might have come up, so now you're testing those formations out. Gordon is out. You have Curry that's so versatile in the back, and you were asking me the question, what do you do when you're up 7-0? You mess around with things for situations that might happen in the future.
This might be one of those opportunities. Maggie Dougherty-Howard standing over the free kick right on about 35 yards out from the FC Juárez goal. Numbers lined up at the back post. Service was a good one, just nobody there. Spencer trying to keep it alive. Maybe a shout for a handball there, but probably not when it's 7-0.
I was going to say, call a foul, but maybe not when it's a friendly and 7-0. I mean, if it's a foul, but it's 7-0.
There's Janelle Farias, actually from right south of here, Santa Ana, Orange County. Played collegiately at UC Irvine as well as New Mexico. Here's Megan Reed. You know, when I think about the depth, Saskia, going forward for this season in 2024, it really comes, especially with players getting healthy. That foul will go against Sydney Leroux. Across all lines, you've got plenty in terms of your back four. Different combinations of outside backs. If you move Jasmine Spencer into a midfield role, you've got a ton of players, especially if you're bringing Katie Zalem into the fold. You mentioned Giselle Thompson. She can play in a number of different positions. In the top three, at a left back. And here she'll replace Jasmine Spencer, the veteran New York native. Always solid, not just defending, but her ability to step forward into that attacking third.
And it's good to see Giselle Thompson on the field and with the call up to the youth women's national team. But yes, it's the versatility within your depth is what's so important and what Angel City is showing. And they've had to adapt to that simply because of injuries. But to have players that really can play anywhere, and many of them, is so huge, and it's got them through the season. And now, with 99.9% of your team healthy, now you can really put together the lineups that you want.
First corner of the night for FC Juárez, and it comes here as we tick into the final 20 minutes on the night. Driven on toward the penalty spot. Leroux, always strong in the air, no matter what side of the field it's on. She heads it away. Liliana Mercado providing the service. And now back here for Santewa and Morales, the goalkeeper. Morales actually started the last two matches in Apertura play, including Friday night's loss against Monterrey.
And from a goalkeeper's perspective, whether Morales started the first half or not, I still think we're looking at 7. Other than the drop on the redirection off the corner kick, there really were no major goalkeeper errors to lead to those goals.
Credit to Angel City.
A little bit of positioning, but it's not drop balls that led to goals or parries or anything like that, or bad distribution. It was just Angel City scored some nice goals.
Execution from Angel City for sure. Megan Reed with the inside track to knock it back to Anderson. Coolly and calmly finds Eme Vignola. And now Elizabeth Eddy. You have to think some of the players that have had the chance to come on here throughout the course of this second half, they want to get in on the scoring act as well.
Well, you think Elizabeth Eddy doesn't want it with Giselle Thompson, but you still, with that being said, you still have to execute your plan. Yes, you want to score. You know that, you know, the second goalkeeper has come in. Maybe we let some loose, but sometimes that can be a detriment to the style and what you're trying to play. Look, goals are goals, and it's great to score them, but still stick with your game plan.
Tackle into the back of Sydney Leroux from Annie Mejia.
if that makes sense, because I'm sure people are like, Saskia, what are you talking about? Go score a goal, go score a goal.
No, but as we said at the onset, we take a look at that foul from Mejia onto the back.
Yeah, she just clips 100% of Sydney Leroux's ankles, gets none of the ball.
We spoke about it at the opening part of our broadcast, saying that Becky Tweed had some objectives that she wanted to achieve here tonight. Yes, winning was part of that, but it was the method to the madness, if you will, in getting to winning the game. And how they played both sides of the ball, how they organized defensively, how they showed patience in possession. Those are just some of the things.
And working on their relationships in their zones between the midfielders, between the forwards and the outside backs, and working on that, perfecting that.
Ball goes out on the far side. Abu could not keep it in, and so Angel City will toss it back in.
And what I like is here the change-up and the versatility between Giselle Thompson and M.A. Vignola. They are swapping full sides of the field when they feel like it and through the run of play, and it's keeping Juárez on their toes.
Now a chance open in transition here for Juárez. Curry, though, great recovery, at least to tackle it away for a moment from Asantewa. And the Ghanaian will let it run out of play for a second corner on the night here for the Liga MX Femenil side.
And what you saw there was M.A. Vignola get caught in transition, pushing forward as the ball got clipped. So then it was a 2v1, but that ball rolled into space. Curry doing a great job defensively to come over and slide, even though it went out of bounds for a corner.
Second time Mercado will serve from the corner. This one toward the penalty spot, and the same result. It's Sydney Leroux who wins the initial ball. Eddy trying to challenge for it. It'll come back out wide for Mercado. First time in, and there's Elizabeth Eddy to win it back. Got a piece of Mercado. So now a free kick opportunity.
These are all great situations in a sense for Angel City to have to face and be in. It gives them the training and practice. How are they going to deal with this? How will they deal with it next week facing San Diego?
Mercado delivers one more time. Leroux every time defensively on the end, and Elizabeth Eddy will clear so that Angel City can find their shape defensively. Curry to challenge. Maggie Dougherty-Howard brave to put her head down there, and the long distance shot off of the right foot of Cáceres will go wide.
I actually like that play by Eddy, because recognizing that Angel City's been kind of stuck in their half for a few minutes, corner kick, everything, free kick and stuff. And so we've got to get our shape back. We've got to get out, realizing that nobody's in front of her, nowhere's for it. Let me dump this, at least get everybody out of the 18 and resituate themselves. That's a veteran move.
And it led to this possession now. Forward for Katie Johnson, who just tries to swing it first time for Elizabeth Eddy. Pushed out of play on the far side for an Angel City throw. Concern there. Zambian Priska Chilufa.
Just going to see Eddy come in. It's just boot on top of boot. That never feels good when you get studs on top of your foot, but it looks like she's walked it off.
Positive touch inside from Vignola. Leroux trying to time the overlap there. forget, fans, as we're into the 78th minute here, 10 games remaining in the NWSL regular season, beginning next week down in San Diego against the Wave for Angel City.
Some changes for San Diego.
Yes, but then you got back-to-back games here at home on September the 1st and September the 9th. First hosting Chicago Red Stars, and then Seattle Reign FC coming to town.
Landon Donovan taking over the reins.
Some controversy there, depending on which side you stand on. Yep. Well, take a look at this foul right here.
We're just going to saw her get sandwiched. A little bit of controversy.
Yeah, that was Jasmine Caceres sandwiched there in between a couple of ACFC players. Yeah, I was just going to say, just to put a bow tie on that part of the conversation, it just, and I even saw many San Diego Wave fans saying this, it just doesn't make sense that you had Casey Stoney as your head coach and you'd signed her to a new deal and you just send her walking.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of questions to be answered, like you said, to put a bow tie on that. I think, you know, Landon Donovan, for all he's done, and he has been a great coach with the San Diego Loyal before they disbanded and everything, but he hasn't had any touch with the NWSL or women's soccer.
Here's Katie Johnson with a great first touch into space. Eddie making the run. Instead, it's Johnson all the way through. Got caught up in some traffic, still looking for the opening, and sends it just wide of the near post. Maybe a little selfish from Katie Johnson there, but she wanted to get in on the act.
And so this, to my point, decision-making. Yes, you want to get in on the act and you want to get in and score. But when you watch Johnson drive in right here, the play is a slotted ball to Elizabeth Eddy. 3 dribbles earlier. Instead, Johnson has 3 players collapse around her and loses the ball and then gets the ball back but really has no shot. So that's what I was referring to as still make the right decisions even though you want to score and get on the score sheet. The right decision was Eddy.
Here on DAZN, we've got some exciting leagues kicking off soon, including the DFB Pokal starting in August the 20th. Frauen Bundesliga starting August the 30th, and we're also the global home of Liga MX Femenil, which gets underway in early September. We cannot wait. Register for free at DAZN.com/women's football for access to live and on-demand matches in select territories.
So many leagues, so many women's leagues.
All of it. The access across the board to.
It's amazing. I mean, I had to play in Japan Pro because there was nothing here, and then we started the WSA. But it's just, man, it's such a great time to be a women's soccer player.
A fan, indeed. Hammond chopped down, and a late tackle. That's exactly what you don't want to see on a night like tonight.
And that's always a fear in the back of a coach's mind, is that when a game is 7-0 and you're up, it can get kind of chippy. And you don't want to see reckless fouls. You see, that's a card, and it's almost a red card to me, because that's like cleats up, scissor kick, and that's the danger sometimes in games like this.
It's Grace Santewa who came in with that tackle right into the back of the ankles. Hammond. Good news is the 26-year-old midfielder back up on her feet, and Angel City back with the ball moving around the surface here at BMO Field. Giselle Thompson. Several changes here in the second half for Becky Tweed. Credit FC Juárez continuing to try and push to find something out of this match, even though they haven't conceded here in the second half. Obviously the 7 they conceded in the first half really could have been an opportunity to just fold up shop and not really try anything going forward, but they have. Here's Johnson. Deflect wide. Not a bad effort. Fair, she got her left foot to it, but sent it up and over the top of the Juárez goal.
And this is better by Johnson, making that run up the middle and then realizing when to pass. The pass was a little bit in the wrong spot. Juárez was just lucky to get kind of the flip on that as that was through and onto Fair. But that's better timing. This is what this game is for. This is what these subs are for, to get your timing, your minutes in, and work with each other in a game situation.
And you just hope to see it all unfold in a very similar manner a week from tonight down in San Diego. Two teams that are really trying to make a push. Fair, one more time. Cutting it onto her right foot, pushed away. Wide for Vignola. Cutting into some space, now lifting her chin. Good ball there to find Giselle Thompson. The two outside backs combining, but the ball turns over at the top of the 18 for a moment. Dougherty Howard. First time from Vignola. Mercado caught on it inside of her own 18. Pinched into a corner. M.A. one more time. Tough ball there for Hammond to handle. Had some heat on it. Mercado tripped up from behind.
And going back to your question about FC Juárez, they haven't conceded in the second. And I do think that is a win. They tweaked a couple things, put in some new players that are working well together, better together. And that's what you take away from this. You ask me what you do if you say to yourself, if you're FC Juárez, you approach the second half as if it is 0-0. It's not, but that's how you approach it.
Yeah, and it hasn't been as lopsided in terms of possession, in terms of chances. You have to assume that's a little bit human nature. Curry didn't play it firm all the way back for Anderson. And that allows FC Juárez to get on it. Chiliufa. Fair didn't have much support as she tried to turn just inside of the midfield line. The drums still beating in the background and the fans thoroughly enjoying a warm Southern California evening. Summer begins to come to a close. Kids getting ready to go back to school this week. I know mine are. But what a way to not only end this little summer window, Saskia Weber, with the Summer Cup, this international friendly. You've got all of your players, including the newest addition, Katie Zalem, coming into the fold. And now you get ready for the final 10 games of NWSL's regular season.
And with so much momentum and on the front foot coming into these final 10 games, having your whole team together for the past 6 weeks, it will pay off. I think we're going to see that. We're seeing it tonight.
It's that psychological piece that Becky Tweed referred to in our conversation earlier this week. It also helps scoring 7 goals in the first half.
And we're just going to see Katie Johnson just get the tug here, clip the back of the heel. Just a professional foul, trying to slow down any forward movement from FC Juárez. If you're going to make a foul, this is the part of the field that you want to make one in.
And Katie Johnson goes into the book of our referee, Alyssa Nichols. Vignola battling. Last touched by M.A. A battle for it, just on this near sideline. Hammond for Vignola, and she'll just send it back out towards midfield. Curry doing the rest of the work to clean things up, but it's a throw here for FC Juárez. By the looks of things, as we're into the final few minutes, these will be the 22 players that finish up this first half.
Well,
second half, excuse me.
Well, Becky Tweed stayed true to what we had talked about her earlier in the week. She has played every single player on the roster. We were wondering if Hana was going to get in. She did, which, you know, as a goalkeeper, I love that even your third goalkeeper got in.
I was going to say, Saskia, there's not too many matches when you get 3 goalkeepers in and get some minutes.
But it's so important for off-the-field dynamics as well as on the field.
Back post ball headed away by Thompson. Santewa able to keep it alive. And now here for Mercado. Chiliufia to the end line and a corner.
We have some big questions coming into the San Diego game.
We sure do.
What is the starting lineup going to be?
I bet I could guess 9 of the 11, but I'm going to keep that to myself for now.
Yeah, me too. Well, you know what? You write it and text it to me. I'll write it and text it to you.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see who's right. But what a great problem to have coming into this half of the season, and your forwards are all firing on all cylinders. Everybody's scoring.
Again, only 4 regular season games left here at BMO Stadium, so you've got to get out here and join the fun. Near post ball, headed away by LaRue, but not before some contact. Back inside the 6-yard box of Angelina Anderson. Here on DAZN, the global home of women's football. We've got some exciting new leagues kicking off soon, with Serie A commencing on the 30th of August. Arkema Premier League starting on the 21st of September, and the Saudi Women's Premier League starting September the 27th. Fans can register for free at DAZN.com/women's football for access to live and on-demand matches in select territories. Huge thanks to our friends at DAZN for helping us out, put on this international friendly here tonight. Anderson slow to get to it. She almost baited Cáceres to come in. Angelina
gets the call against her. Nice strong. Angelina just comes up, catches through this ball. You want to do that as a goalkeeper. If you come in and try to pull back, that's when you bobble the ball.
Fair, maybe to add an 8th. The ball pops loose and Morales falls on it inside her 18.
So what I was saying about the Anderson save and the getting the foul there is that a lot of goalkeepers sometimes hesitate. They shy away from that, or they'll come through and box the ball.
That is the full-time whistle for this one. As expected, no need for some second half stoppage time. A top-to-tail, whistle-to-whistle win with convincing fashion for Becky Tweed. And I would say, Saskia, just what the doctor ordered before you head back into regular season play in the NWSL.
I don't think Angel City and Becky Tweed could have scripted a more perfect final game before getting back into the game against San Diego. Lots to think about this week, lots to build on. Who's going to start?
Angel City FC with 7 goals on the night, so a lot of choices to choose from when you talk about play of the match. But you know where we're going to go, Saskia? We're going to take you all the way back to the opening minute. 20 seconds in, Messiah Bright opening her account with Angel City FC.
And with the little flick over the head is Kennedy Fuller. Then Messiah Bright just puts this away. 1 of 3 hat trick on the night.
That is your play of the match. It got the party started tonight. And Messiah Bright, the 24-year-old, with 3 goals in the 1st, the 9th, and the 36th minute. She also added a couple of helpers here on the night. She did it all in less than 40 minutes of action in the first half. And it was all part of a 7-goal explosion in the first half as well. And that turns out to be your final score. 7-0 Angel City FC here tonight in downtown LA, as they take down FC Juárez in their final tune-up, a little international friendly here from LA. We'll come back and wrap it up next.
And you made a mistake, Eddie Hearn, when you slide into my DM for another time asking about Johnny Fisher. I was in shock that you will put the boy through this. This is about the resurrection of the savage, you know, and you made a mistake, Eddie Hearn.
One question. Who's ready for a scrap of the copper bosh? Bash!
Oh, big shot, he's got the pressure, unleashes inside the first 30 seconds. Babbage goes down. Babbage surely can't continue. The referee waves it off. The copper box goes wild. The body shot by Zepeda. He hurt Cabrera to the body.
And Cabrera takes a knee. And that is it. This one is waved off as Cabrera runs into the lightweight division's buzzsaw.
And I love the fact that Joseph Parker is staying disciplined. He's still big left hand.
Yeah, caught him against the ropes. Wilder just leans back over that top rope, and he's so vulnerable.
I understand that Deontay Wilder is lethal with that counter shot, but at this stage, you've got to be more offensive oriented because you're down big.
What on earth is he waiting for?
Joseph Parker sending shockwaves through the heavyweight division. It's now or never for Deontay Wilder.
Now it's time for Parker to back up. Hands in the air. Soak it up. Move around the ring. This is your Sugar Ray Leonard moment. Could you shock the world?
And Joseph Parker, the New Zealand man, has just seemingly beaten the Bronze Bomber and did it in dominating fashion.
Come on, give me back on 7-0 the final here, as an explosive first half that included 2 goals from our next guest here on DAZN. Claire Emsley joining us from downstairs. Mark Rogandino and Saskia Weber here with you. You know, let's just talk about this match. You guys had a lot of things Becky Tweed told us you wanted to accomplish. What would you say you guys accomplished in addition to obviously winning the match?
Yeah, obviously we've struggled with goals this season, so to get so many today was amazing, especially for the girls. You know, Messiah's got her first goal and ended up getting a hat-trick. So yeah, it was great for a bit of confidence and, you know, getting the feel in the back of the net.
Claire, Saskia here. Talk about the advantage coming into this last half of the season, the last 10 games, but you guys during this break, during the Olympic break, have been able to stick together as a team and train together. How do you think that'll factor in?
Yeah, I think we've learned a lot and gelled as a team the last 6 weeks. Not having really missing anyone has been great, to be honest, and I think, you know, obviously we wish we had players that would go to the Olympics, but we're like, this is our situation, we're together, so we need to make the most of this time. So yeah, we've had the time to actually work on a lot of stuff, whereas during the season it's just kind of recover game. So yeah, it's nice that we're seeing some results, which is important going into the next half.
Claire, I'm going to ask you about that second goal. We just showed the video of it a moment ago on our coverage here on DAZN. It looked like maybe because you had that free kick earlier, just moments before that, where you picked out Kristen Press on the back post run. The next one a little bit closer, and I think you caught Renata Masciarelli maybe cheating just a little bit. Did you see that she was kind of tilted over to the far side? And by the way, your good friend Katie Zalem, she said she taught you that.
She's lying for one. Lying for one. I've been practicing the free kicks, and Yeah, I thought if I managed to get this over the wall and back down, it's got a chance of going in, and yeah, I was buzzing to see it hit the back of the net.
Oh, it was a bit of brilliance for sure for your second of the night and part of those 7 goals in the first half. I guess last thing for you, and it kind of follows up on what Saskia asked you, and that is the fact that what does it feel like inside the dressing room for this team? Because you're getting everybody back healthy, you're adding some pieces, and as you see Messiah Bright salute some of the friends, but a chance for this stretch run here through the final 10 games. What does it feel like inside the locker room?
Yeah, it's good. Our team is full of great girls, great people, and yeah, the most important thing is people being healthy, and having them back is important. Our biggest strength is our togetherness, so yeah, I love this team, and the girls are brilliant.
Well, then we don't want to keep you any longer. We appreciate you stopping through. They're all getting together over there in the 18-yard box to your right. Get down there and celebrate the 7-0 win.
Thanks, Claire.
Thank you.
That's
Cheers.
Claire Emsley. She had 2 of the 7 on the night. There is Messiah Bright. She is our player of the match. She had 3, her first 3 in an Angel City FC shirt. And without question, not only is she going to remember this night, but it could very well be a spark, Saskia, for big things to come in the next few months.
And we've been talking about when that spark, when that breakthrough is going to happen. Tonight could have been the night.
We'll take you back to that opening minute of play, and that's when Messiah Bright found her first of 3.
And you're going to see this ball pop right into Kennedy Fuller, who does this cheeky move over the shoulder. Messiah Bright just opens up the hips and puts it through, dunks it in over the top.
And then it was another first-timer. Megan Reed, right spot, right time.
And Megan Reed always seems to be hovering around that penalty spot. We see Messiah Bright with the cut back, and then the ball bounces right back to her, and again, inside of the foot, the wherewithal to actually see the positioning of the goalkeeper and dunk that in over the top.
Soft little touch to make it 3-0. Alyssa Thompson in one-on-one, taken down, and a point to the spot from referee Alyssa Nichols.
And this is just pure pace that beats the keeper. It's a great PK by Alyssa Thompson.
So it's 4-0. Here's the interchange, the one we just spoke to, Claire Emsley with the first of her 2.
And this, drawing the defense deep by Messiah Bright, getting the touch, and then Emsley with the worldie on the free kick, upper 90.
Not done yet. Messiah Bright completing the hat trick.
Yeah, and you've got Reed heading the ball exactly where you're supposed to head it, down into the mix, creating something.
Look at that from Claire Emsley to cap the first half, scoring 7-0 your final.
Just putting an exclamation point on it.
And putting on a dazzling display here tonight for the fans that showed up for this international friendly inside of BMO Stadium. A week from now, remember, it'll be heading to San Diego to get back into NWSL play. Let's go back downstairs as we're joined by the head coach, Becky Tweed. Becky, I know you're pleased with 7 goals, but maybe outside of those types of numbers, what were you most pleased with? What stuck out for you tonight in this performance?
Yeah, I think obviously 7 goals is important. And I think it's 7 good goals. I think we can look at every single one of them and say that, you know, they were good finishes, they were good team play. I think the first half we were really, really unselfish. And just some really good moments. I think obviously both teams made a lot of subs, and that makes this game really difficult with momentum. But we've got to take this and move forward into the NWSL with this positive result and a clean sheet, which I think is also huge.
Becky, Messiah Bright, huge tonight. A lot of assists. The assist to Emsley was just spot on. We talked about in our call, drawing that defense because they do mark man-to-man, coming into the space. She did that and laid it off. But talk about Messiah's performance and how that'll impact your decisions moving forward.
Yeah, I think for Messiah, it's just about confidence and getting fit and getting minutes and scoring goals, and that's what she did tonight. I think 3 goals in 35 minutes, 3 really good goals, an assist, and just overall a really good positive performance from her. So yeah, I think obviously, you know, you want to have hard decisions to make as a coach, and these players are definitely making it hard for me, so I think that's obviously a positive as well.
Yeah, Saskia and I were discussing it throughout the entire night about how you're going to have some tough decisions to make. Confidence was one of the buzzwords we spoke with you about earlier this week, and I want to leave you with this and this question. Saskia's got one more. How do you take this confidence from a game like this and have it translate 7 days from now, not just when you step on the field against San Diego, but for this stretch run of 10 games in league play?
Yeah, I think we just have to look at what worked for us tonight. Like, why were we so successful in front of goal? I think when I looked up at the scoreboard, we'd had 5 shots and scored 5 goals. And that's something we've been struggling with, is the final pass or hitting the target. And it doesn't matter who you're playing against. 5 shots, 5 goals is an incredible stat, and we've got to move forward with that for sure.
Coach, you said that you wanted the team to play with freedom and with joy, and that was evident tonight. Thank you, Coach. Good game.
Thank you.
That's Becky Tweed, the head coach for Angel City. Go enjoy this one, Coach.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for our coverage tonight here on DAZN. What a fantastic night for Angel City FC and their fans that made it here to BMO Stadium. 3 from Messiah Bride, 2 from Claire Emsley, Alyssa Thompson opening her account, and Megan Reed's first in an Angel City shirt. It all adds up to a 7-0 win. For our producer, Mackenzie Pierce, and her crew down in the truck, for my partner, Saskia Weber, my name is Mark Rogandino. So glad to have you along for our international friendly here on DAZN. It's back to league play next Sunday night in San Diego.
Hello people, me again. Fight Week on DAZN is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights. That and so much more, even before the bell rings.
By bringing the best players on the planet, it gets people more involved in the game. Ongeberg, Irina Sabalenka coming here to Saudi to play. 2 women going head-to-head in this arena, making history. And then you have Novak Djokovic versus Carlos Alcaraz. Be able to have the greatest of all time, the #1 player on the planet, against the guy who's #2 in the world, who's been the youngest ever world #1.
A love for the game of tennis makes me give my 100%.
I've been waiting for tennis to come to Saudi, and it's really exciting, especially for female. I think it is very important for us. Definitely, we'll give it all.
To have these greats in the game playing head-to-head is really special. You couldn't ask much more for this competition.
That is unstoppable. Aitana Bonmatí, the world's best player.
That's a superb goal.
Messi on the turn.
She's amazing.
What a finish.
Live on DAZN August 24th. Floyd Money Mayweather versus John Gotti III. The best ever in a bad-blooded rematch.
This is more than personal.
A 15-0 perfect record and still performing at the highest level. But with the legacy of his name, John Gotti III is looking to write boxing history. The first fight ended in chaos. Now they must collide once more. Mayweather versus Gotti III, August 24th. Live on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Looks like they mean business here. Cristiano Ronaldo does find the back of the net.
Karim Benzema.
Glorious, glorious football. It's Mitrovic, it's in.